Greetings, heroes. I'm your trusted kid sidekick, and I'd like to start off this new series where I show off my monthly purchases of action figures throughout the year. Essentially, this is just for me to keep track of what I'm buying, how much I'm buying, and when I'm buying it. I've got to say, this has been an eye opening experience tracking this stuff. One of my goals is to make a year end top 10 list, which was not possible before because I buy so much and I never know what to group together. So I'd like to begin with the month that actually started tracking this stuff, March 2023. And what you see before you are strictly Marvel Legends, and I don't exclusively collect them, but not much else was purchased in March. In the coming months, you'll see many different things like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Mythic and Cosmic Legions, and my current favorite line, G.I. Joe. To start this list, I'm going to go over each one, beginning with my least favorite to favorite. Madrix the Multiple Man is based on his classic look first seen in Giant Size Fantastic Four number 4, published in 1975. Madrix has the mutant ability to make copies of himself through the impact-absorbing kinetic energy. Almost impossible to own only one because the name implies that you must have more than one. This is our first foray into my army building mindset. Surprisingly, I was able to control myself with just the 2, which goes against my primal impulse of always having an odd number when it comes to army building. But at the price point of $24.99 for a bare bones figure, common sense came through. He came with an extra head and extra hands on a bare buck body, so it's easy to have 2 distinct looks. For me, classic representation of comic book characters is the most important when displaying, and this one does a fine job at that. I would like to have a couple more just because, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Avalanche is based off his classic look, first seen in the Uncanny X-Men 141, published in 1981. He has the mutant ability to generate seismic waves from his body and his hands, which cause inorganic matter to shatter or crumble to dust. He's a much-needed character to help round out Mystique's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, also known as the Freedom Force. Figure-wise, not much is going on with him. You only get an extra set of hands and a unique shoulder pad torso. The only reason I have him listed over Madrix is that he helps fill out a favorite villain team of mine, and that is now only 1 member short. Although most of my memories of him are with a giant A on his chest, this is a fine representation to his first look. This version of Wolverine is from a brief run in Uncanny X-Men, starting with issue number 275. In my opinion, Hasbro has Wolverine figured out, and this is just another example. One of the reasons I gravitated to the original X-Men as one of my favorite comic book teams was the matching uniforms. That uniformity pushes that idea of wanting to belong, and this issue, when it came out, got me hyped for X-Men again. Or maybe it was my obsession with Jim Lee at the time. Who knows? The extra hands are nice, but eventually I would like to see a relaxed version done for Wolverine. On another plus side, I feel like you're getting 2 extra Logan heads that can be used on all the other versions of Wolverine, Logan, done in the past. As of filming this, I do not have the 2 3-packs of the other members. I need to get over that price hump soon before it's too late. Gorr the God Butcher is first seen in Thor, God of Thunder, number 2, published in 2012. My knowledge of the comic book version of Gorr is limited, and when that happens, I tend to skip that in my collection, but something about the look and the design of this figure changed that. Most of my knowledge comes from the MCU version, which was played by Christian Bale in Thor Love and Thunder, which so happens to be one of my least liked MCU movies, but that's more for a later time. The hooded versus non-hooded version of the character really comes down to preference on display, but the hooded version wins out for me even though I prefer the face sculpt on the other one. The Necrosword attachment looks fantastic, except for the loose elasticity that makes it always want to curve. Spiral is a redo for Hasbro, the first being from the Red Hulk wave in 2008. Our first comic book appearance is from Longshot number 1, that was published in 1985. As probably guessed by y'all, Spiral is a highly skilled hand-to-hand-to-hand-to-hand-to-hand to cyberhand combatant. Sorry about that, I got lost in that cheap joke. What I didn't realize was that she was also a sorceress that can cast spells and teleport. This is a great figure and a vast improvement on it from her previous version. The current female mold with that engineering works perfectly and makes it look menacing. It might be the 6 arm with swords and an axe that pushes us to the my top